Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We've got a whole bunch of callers on hold, so it'll be fun to see what their questions are, and I always love to see what Spirit has to say in an answer. And it is the first Thursday in June, so you know what that means. Da, 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 da. We have a winner of a free $200 session with me, and we can talk about whatever the winner wants. We can talk to deceased loved ones. I can scan them energetically. We can talk to their pets, scan their pets, do past life stuff, whatever, because, you know, I am a buffet of psychicness. So it makes it fun. We cram a lot of stuff into an hour. And I give a free session away each month on the first Thursday of the month, just because it's a thank you for being a part of this community and listening to the show. All you have to do to enter this drawing is just leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. That's ratethispodcast.com/Julie. And tell us why you like the show. Tell us if you've learned anything or benefited from it, and you may be the lucky winner. So this month, let me put my glasses on so I can read this. This month, we have somebody that calls themselves Ella G. E-L-A-G, period. Ella G. And Ella says, she gave me a 5-star rating, so thanks, Ella. She said, hi, Julie Ryan connects us back to that innate human need towards spirituality with compassion, knowledge, and ease. There is so much valuable info in her podcasts for healing yourself. It's easy to listen to her because there's never an imposition of any values or beliefs, as she fills in the gaps so clearly and profoundly on life, health, and beyond. Listening to her podcast is so comforting, relaxing. She's so down to earth and fun. Well, thanks for that. And then she ends with, I feel blessed to have discovered her. Thank you, Julie, from the bottom of my heart. Love and health. So, Ella G., you have won a free session with me. Just email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and we will figure out a date and time that's going to work with your schedule and with mine, and we will have a ball. And we'll figure out what questions you need answered, and I'll see what I can do to help. So send me an email. Okay, let's go to the phones. Our first caller's Alex. Hi, Alex.
Hey, thank you so much for all you do for us. Quick question. So I have 3 job opportunities, and I don't know if it matters which one I take or if there's one that's better than the others.
Okay. First of all, where are you located, Alex?
They're all insurance. West Valley, Utah.
Okay. All right. Terrific. So they're all in the insurance business. Are they with carriers or insurance agencies or what?
One is a call center for strictly Medicare, and the other 2 are your independent. But my understanding is that both of these companies, although similar, provide a lot of support, and they have good cultures. One has higher commission rates, but sometimes money isn't everything. And we jump the fence thinking we're going to greener pastures, and we land in poo.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's ask this way, because we'll ask the spirits and beyond, as my son Jonathan used to say when he was little. He'd say, Mommy, ask the spirits and beyond. So let's ask the spirits and beyond for you, Alex. Is it in Alex's best interest? I always like to preface a question to spirit with, is it in Alex's best interest? Is it in my best interest? Because then that encompasses all of the variables that can affect an outcome. So is it in Alex's best interest to take the job in a Medicare call center? I get a no on that, Alex. I'm getting a no on that one.
Okay.
I don't know why. And I don't edit anything I get. I'm just like the roving reporter. I just tell you what I get. So I'm getting it on that.
And that's all right.
Okay. On the independents, can you
between the other 2?
Can you differentiate them for me so we can ask Spirit for some concrete information?
One starts with the letter S, and the other company starts with the letter F, as in Foxtrot.
I get S. S is the one that has the most positive energy to it.
F?
S
Okay.
S as in Sam, is that what you said?
Correct.
Yeah. That's the one that had the most energy. Yeah. So
because
I hope that works.
I appreciate it. I appreciate spirit.
Okay. Well, does that go with what you're feeling intuitively?
Sometimes, as I said, the money was the draw on the other one because it starts you out with a higher commission. But sometimes you jump for the wrong reason. And in the long run, you know what I'm saying? It looks good up front, but it's not as good on the backside.
Okay. Well, the fact that you're even questioning that is a red flag for you. That's spirit giving you information on that. Because when it feels smooth, that's when you know you're in alignment. So if you're feeling any resistance at all, pay attention to that.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for that information.
You bet. Good luck.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All righty. Let's go to Patty next. Hi, Miss Patty.
Oh, my goodness. Hello. I loved what you just told her. Thank you. That helped me.
Oh, are you in the job hunt?
No, no.
Okay.
If I am going through some sadness right now and you see it, it's because my little neighbor that I love so much is passing. But that isn't why I'm calling you right now.
Okay.
I'm so glad to thank you for calling on me. I always wake up between 3:30 and 6:30 in the morning with a lot of burning and tingling. And I have been told that this isn't neuropathy, but it could be anxiety. But I read, I just wonder if you can tell me what's going on.
Does it go away after that time, Patty, or does it stay with you all day and it just wakes you up because you're in pain?
It goes away.
Goes away.
It goes away.
So only between 3:30 and 6:30, only those 3 hours?
Sometimes 7, yeah.
Okay.
Usually more like 4 to 7, but the other day I woke up at 3:30.
Okay.
And now I can also feel it in my ankles, kind of, but in fact, I can feel it right now. Right now that I'm talking to you, I can feel it, but usually I don't have it during the day.
Those hours in the middle of the night like that, Patty, are called the hour of God, believe it or not. And there's lots of stuff written about this. And it's about how throughout history, before we had the electric light bulb and we could pay attention to, our bodies just paid attention to when the sun came up and when it went down. And that's how we slept. Apparently between 3 and 6, something like that, it was typical for people to wake up and they would meditate or pray or read or whatever and then go back to sleep for a few hours. So I think you're doing what's probably natural to the human, the Homo sapien, the human. And instead of resisting it, just pray, read, do something, meditate, and just ask Spirit what messages it has to deliver to you. Because oftentimes we're woken up because that's the only time our brains are still and Spirit can communicate with us. So just try a different
And would that
tactic.
really cause the burning in the feet and throughout the body? Sometimes it's just like an electrical shock.
Well, it may be that Spirit's trying to communicate with you and get your attention on that. I mean, I can do a more extensive deep dive when I have you for an hour in a consult. But the other thing,
I know, and that will be the 20th of June.
Oh, good, great. But the other thing that's so interesting about this is when we wake up in the middle of the night and we get frustrated and we get angry and we get exasperated, well, what happens? We're in a fight or flight mode, right? We're mad. So we're releasing cortisol and adrenaline. which causes inflammation, which causes pain. And when we're in a chronic state of inflammation, it's always the precursor to disease and illness. So if you can just back up and say, okay, I look forward to that time because I wonder what Spirit has to say to me, and just pay attention to what comes in and do something that you enjoy, read a book, listen to a meditation, do something like that. And then that's going to keep your cortisol levels low. It's not going to cause inflammation, and I don't think you're going to have the burning in your feet and your lower extremities.
And it wouldn't cause like a blood circulation problem or anything.
It shouldn't. No. So
okay, I know we'll go into it more when I talk to you, but thank you so much, Julie. Oh my God.
Most welcome. I'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Looking forward.
Thanks, Patty.
Thank you.
Alrighty, everybody, stay with us. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on and see what their questions are. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and I'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Our next caller's Mary. Hi, Mary.
Hi, Julie. This is Mary from South Jersey. I'm excited to talk to you also.
Thanks. Me too. How are you doing this evening?
Well, how am I doing this evening? Relaxing, trying to see if maybe God has anything to say to me. That's all. Really.
All right.
Wondering.
Did you have a question?
I am. I'm missing my husband so much.
Yeah. Did he pass, Mary, recently?
Yes, it was like 6 months ago, November 30th, and he's perfectly healthy. It was one of those mornings that, matter of fact, I could see him walking out of the bathroom. He had shaved. He said, "You want to brush your teeth?" I said, "Yeah, you look good." I kiss him and I say goodbye. See you later. And there was no later. He has a heart attack, and I am just missing him. And what the heck, I want to know what he was thinking at the last minute. What happened?
Mm-hmm. What's his name, Mary? Scott. Okay. All right. He's standing right next to you on your right. As soon as we think of them, they come in right away. Our heads are big satellite dishes, Mary. They receive and they transmit frequencies. Every spirit has a frequency that they keep throughout all of their lifetimes. And so in order to get in touch with Scott or anyone who's alive or deceased, it doesn't matter. You just think of them. And then that tunes your satellite dish head to their frequency. So did you have a question for Scott?
Is there anything that he wanted to tell me? Anything at the last minute that he wanted to say? Anything that God has to say to you, I do want to hear.
He's saying that he loves you. It was a quick out. He didn't suffer at all. It was very instant. That's probably what the doctors were telling you, I would imagine. He's told me 3 times to tell you to look for blue jays. What's up with the blue jays? Do you get blue jays at your house?
Yeah, we get the blue jays. My girlfriend Maureen across the street is here, who is a really close friend with Scott and her husband. Yeah.
So he's saying, look for the blue jays. He sends you blue jays. And I can tell you, it doesn't have to just be the bird itself that shows up. You may see a blue jay in a magazine, on the side of a van, in a TV commercial, on a pin somebody's wearing, like a brooch. So he's sending you blue jays to let you know that he's around you all the time. And so all you have to do to talk to him, Mary, is you just say something either aloud or in your head, and he's going to answer you instantly, as fast as you can snap your fingers. If you think about it for longer than a second, that's going to be your brain talking to you. So he's going to answer you either before your thought is even done, being thought or being said, or he's going to answer you instantly. And then you can have a conversation with him. The other thing he's talking about Did he eat chocolate chip cookies? Something about chocolate chip cookies. He misses chocolate chip
chocolate
cookies.
chip cookies all the time. Yeah.
All right. He's missing your chocolate chip cookies is what he's saying too. So I hope that helps. Schedule an appointment with me.
I miss him so much.
Yeah. He hears you. He knows.
Yeah.
He hears you. Schedule an appointment with me and we can talk to him for an hour and we'll get lots of fun things to talk to him about. And, it'll bring you comfort. Have you read my book yet, Mary?
Does he know what the title to the car is? Does he know where the title to his car is? I had to send away to motor vehicles. I couldn't find it. I know it's paid for and I couldn't find his title.
He's saying in the bank. Do you have a safety deposit box?
Oh, really?
He said in the bank.
Yeah. I hadn't heard about it.
So I hope that helps. Yeah. All righty. Well, I hope that helps. Thanks for calling, Mary. Sending you lots of love. Read my book, Angelic Attendance. You bet. Take care.
I did. Bye-bye. I ordered it.
Great. All right. Let's go to Marilyn next. Hi, Marilyn.
Hi, beautiful Julie. Thank you for answering my call.
You're welcome.
As you know,
please tell everybody where you're located.
I'm in Chicago, Illinois, looking at our beautiful skyline right now.
Terrific. That's where we're broadcasting out of.
Warm weather I know. I heard that on the commercial. I did not know that.
I know. That's where my man Paul is. Paul makes everything happen. He's the wizard behind the curtain. Yeah.
That's great. Hi, Paul.
Got a question for me?
I do, Julie. So, my daughter Samantha and I went in to get our annual exams, and we lost our beautiful angel Alexa, my middle daughter, to cervical cancer almost a year ago. It'll be a year on the 21st. And we went to a new doctor, and she said everything looked great, and we didn't hear anything, so we were very, comforted by that. And then one day she called us both and said she wanted to repeat both of our taps, and she had been it was the most painful tap either one of us had ever had. And we didn't really want to go back to her. We went to a new doctor we just saw last week, and we're going to kind of wait and see. She wasn't overly concerned. The first doctor was concerned, maybe because of Alexa. But I was wondering if you could scan me and Sam. Sam is with me right now. Mm-hmm. We're in her apartment in Chicago. And I was just wondering if you could do a quick scan on each of us.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
All right. So I'm going to connect to you first, Marilyn, and then from you to Sam. So let me look at you. Here comes my latest being from Sweet Home, Alabama. You know what? I'm going to get you on the break because there's my music. So I'll check you out on the break and I'll pick you up on the other side. Stay with us, everybody. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. We'll be right back and we'll have some answers for Marilyn and Sam. Stay with us. Welcome back. We've got Marilyn on the line still from Chicago. Marilyn, you still with us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yes. I checked on you first and I looked at your girly parts and I see some abnormal looking cells on the top layer of your cervix, Marilyn, and they look kind of crusty. You know what cradle cap looks like on a baby's head? Sometimes babies will get that. That's what they look like. They do not look cancerous to me. They look precancerous, maybe, if that's what they'd say. But anytime we see some abnormal cells on a cervix, they get concerned. So what I watched happen was I watched a procedure called the LEEP, LEEP. And it's do you know what that is?
I do.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So for those of you listening that don't, imagine if Marilyn's cervix was a bagel and we took a hot wire and we sliced a very thin layer off the top of her cervix. So I did that, Marilyn, energetically, and then I watched stem cell energy get applied to regenerate that tissue. So when I say I,
Beautiful.
it's spirit working through me and with me, obviously. And so I watched that.
Yeah.
I do believe it would make sense for you to get another PAP. So I would recommend. Did you get another PAP from the new doctor?
She said she's doing some holistic treatments, and we're going to repeat it in 6 months.
Okay. All right. I would get another PAP. I would pay attention to that and see what happens.
Do you think
there.
before 6 months? Before 6 months, you mean?
Yeah. I would.
Okay.
I would. I think.
Thank you.
Go,
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And then as far as Sam goes, her cervix looks inflamed to me. It looks irritated. And so there's this white energetic cream that I see get used a lot. It reminds me of really thick face cream, like the Nivea cream in those blue jars. And I watch that get applied to her cervix, and that'll calm it down. It almost looked like an abrasion on it. So it may have been from the PAP that you got from that first doctor.
I think so.
Yeah. Because
that's what we think happened.
It looked like it was irritated and inflamed and kind of a little not as bad as a skinned knee, but definitely not normal. And it looked like it had abrasive used on it in some way. So that was the first thing that came to me. Maybe it was from the other PAP. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would recommend that she get another PAP as well, just to be sure. Okay. It's not that big of a deal. They're not expensive. Just don't mess with it. Just go get another PAP. Both of you. Yeah.
So before the 6 months for both of us, like 3 months or immediately?
I do it in the next, I do it in the next, next month or two, as soon as you can get in. Okay. And go get another one. Okay, it's going to give you peace of mind. You. And if there's something going on, you'll find out about it. So I think it's not worth messing around.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Marilyn.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Let's go to Daisy next. Hi, Daisy.
Hi.
How are you, my girl?
From Ocala.
Hi, my girl. How are you?
I have an appointment. Oh, not so good. I have an appointment for July, but I can't wait because I'm in a lot of stomach pain today.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I had gastritis before, but not like this. It kind of goes from way into the flesh, and it hurts a lot. I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'm taking. Should I give up my herbal supplements? What's going on?
Yeah, let me get you on my radar, Daisy, and let's see what's going on in your tummy. How this works for those of you that are first-time listeners is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit, because we're all spirits attached to a body having a human experience. And when we're attached to a body, we vibrate more slowly simply because the body has mass. So I've learned to raise my vibrational level. I close my eyes. I watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham, Alabama. And in Daisy's case, it's going to head south and head to her in Ocala, Florida. And then I'll have a hologram of her in my mind's eye. And I'll envision shooting energy through her, and something will be identified. And then immediately thereafter, there will be some type of energetic healing that will begin. And so that's what we're doing. So Daisy, here we go. Here comes my laser beam from Sweet Home, Alabama. Heading to you in horse country in Ocala. By the way, Ocala and Kentucky are the two big horsey areas in the U.S. And Daisy, I used to do a lot of business in Ocala, so I was down there frequently. And I asked somebody one time, I said, what's up with the horses in Ocala? And they said there's so much calcium in the soil that when the horses eat the grass grown in all that soil with calcium, that it gives them more calcium and it helps raise them to be bigger and stronger, which I thought was interesting because there's a lot of racehorse breeders down there. Yeah. So little tidbit of info for you on Ocala. You probably already knew that though. All right, I've got you. I see big gas bubbles in your gut, Daisy. Like
a lot. I just don't know what to do. I'm taking mint tea, rosemary tea, mint diffusers. I inhale it. I'm trying everything, and it just gets worse instead of better.
Yeah. It looks like, if you take one of those ones and you dip it in sudsy soap, little kids will do them, you'll blow through them and there's just a bunch of bubbles that come out. You got a bunch of bubbles in your belly. So what I'm doing is I am popping them like you'd pop a balloon that was inflated to get those calmed down. What can she do? I get oregano oil. I would stop the herbal stuff. The herbs sometimes have mold and yeast on them because, you think about they're harvested and then they're dried someplace. God only knows where.
I don't know what to do anymore. I've been taking probiotics and aloe vera because it's supposed to be great for your stomach.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem to be working.
When you have...
I have capsules of oregano oil. I was taking it, but I just quit almost everything because my blood pressure was very low, and I didn't know what was doing it. So I just quit a lot of it.
Well,
I guess I could take it again and quit the mint and
I would try that. I would lay off the herbs in the short run because, as I was saying, a lot of times herbs can have mold and yeast on them, and it just exacerbates it. My favorite thing for yeast, which you have, yeast overgrowth, is nystatin, which is an antifungal. It's
I have not been able to get the nurse practitioners to give me the prescription. I tried. They will not give me the prescription.
Yeah, they just don't. They just aren't aware of it. They're not. It's a really old medicine, but it works great.
Every time I see her, I tell her I've been dealing with mold and I have probably yeast, and she just won't give me the prescription.
Yeah, she's just not familiar with it. So, that's all I can recommend is do that. The probiotics are kind of a wasted time at this point, Daisy, because when you have yeast overgrowth because you've been exposed to mold, it's like throwing grass seed on a field of weeds. The weeds are going to choke it out, and that's what the yeast does. So I do know that
they're supposed to be really good for your gut and your immune system, and they're just not doing anything for me. So I might as well just quit everything, I guess.
So find somebody that'll give you a prescription for nystatin. That's what they give babies when they have thrush. And in the meantime, try some oregano oil and see if that helps.
Okay.
Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Hope you feel better. Alrighty, let's go to Denise next. Hi, Denise.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing? Good. Where are you located?
I'm in Toms River, New Jersey.
Terrific. You're my second Jersey girl tonight.
Yeah. My question is, I've been having I actually need a hip replacement. And I had knee surgery years ago on my meniscus, but I'm not having it till December because I started a new job. And I'll be off in December. I was just wondering if you could see or how my knee and my hip are because I'm in a lot of pain.
Your knee where you had the meniscal tear, did you have surgery? You had surgery to repair it. How long ago was that?
I had the surgery like 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago.
And has it hurt this whole time, or it's just started hurting again?
It started hurting again when I found out I need a hip replacement because that all kind of connects, I guess.
Yeah, the knee bone connects to the hip bone. You're right.
It's awful.
Connects to the pelvis, which connects to the hip bone. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. I'm dating myself on that. All right. Let me get you on my radar.
No, I remember that too.
See what's going on. All right. Okay. The energy is going to your left knee first. Is that the knee that's hurting?
This is my right one.
Your right one. All right. Sometimes the energy goes to the knee that's doing all the heavy lifting. So I'm just going to follow it.
Yeah, because I compensate on my left. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. It looks to me like you've got some inflammation on the right side of your left knee. So the inside, towards the center of your body. And so what I'm doing, inflammation looks like red fog on body parts. And so what I'm doing is I'm applying anti-inflammatory energy on that to see if we can get that calmed down so I can see what's going on with that. So we'll reinforce that one first, then we'll go over to the right. I'm going to hold you over for the break, Denise. Everybody, you're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan show. When we come back, I'll let you know what I come up with. I'm going to work on Denise over the break. So stay with us and find out what I find out. Be right back. Welcome back. Before the break, we were talking to Denise in New Jersey. Hey, Denise, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. So I worked on all your knees and your hips. I worked on both sides. It's really interesting how sometimes the energy goes, I would say 50% of the time it goes to the side that's doing the heavy lifting first, because we're going to reinforce it first. And then we'll go work on the stuff that's hurting. So that's what I watched happen. You've got some arthritis happening in your joints, is what I'm seeing. And inflammation looks like red fog on body parts, but the arthritis itself looks like salt crystals, the kind that you'd put in a salt grinder before you grind it up to sprinkle it on your food. And that's what it looks like in the on the monitors in the operating room. You know, I'm an inventor of surgical devices, orthopedic surgery devices. So I've been in a bazillion of those surgeries. And so, of course, that's my frame of reference, because that's what it really looks like when they're scoping a joint in surgery. So there's that. So I added stem cell energy. I watched a chiropractic adjustment happen all over your body. On the right side, when I went there, I put some stem cell energy into your hip, and then to give you some paddings, because you're bone on bone right now, and there's arthritis in there.
Yeah.
And so imagine those salt crystals are rubbing on the tissue, and so it causes inflammation. So I gave you a lube job, basically, on all of your joints and your legs. And what I'm seeing with your knees is it looks to me like when you walk, you pronate, so your feet roll in. And so it's tweaking your knees when you're walking.
Yes, I see that with my shoes. I noticed that with my shoes too. Yeah.
So
the heel, you know, like you can see the way it wears out. Yeah.
Right. So get some tennis shoes. And I don't know what you do. I don't know if you can wear tennis shoes to work, but they have tennis shoes that have what's called a roll bar in them. And it keeps your foot level so that it's not putting that extra stress on your knee. I'm not seeing a torn meniscus on your right knee. I think what's happening is that you're just tweaking it because your hip's so painful, and also your foot's pronating in. The other thing that's really important before you have the surgery is you want to look up, if you have a pen, can you write this down? Okay, you want to look up Game Ready. Game Ready. 2 words.
Okay.
And it's a device that you put ice in, and what it does is it adds cold and also pressure on whatever you had operated on, and that's what they use. That's what the trainers use for the high school and college and pro teams. And I had that twice when my husband had both knees done about a year ago. And instead of
my husband actually has to have his knee done too,
Great. So you know how to use that. And so instead of using ice, what I did was I froze a bunch of water bottles. So I froze double the amount I needed that would fit in where the ice went. And I put all those water bottles in there, and then you put a little bit of water so that it circulates, the water circulates over the icy bottles. And then when they were melted, then I'd switch them out because I'd have more frozen water bottles in the freezer. And I'd take them in a grocery bag, and I'd bring the newly frozen ones in and switch them out. Okay. And that's really going to help you heal faster. The cool thing about the hips is that it's usually outpatient, and your recovery rate is so fast. It's so fast.
Yeah, that's what the orthopedic said. Yeah, I think you said they stay overnight when I will have surgery. So I stay over one night.
You are going to stay overnight?
Yeah.
Okay. So. The other thing to look for is just another tip, just because I've been through this with Tim, with my husband, is I have a friend that does sports medicine, and she's a woman, and she knows everybody in town. And I said, all right, what do we need to look for in looking for a surgeon? And she said, you want a surgeon that's going to use robotics to line up the joint. They can do the surgery themselves. That's fine. They don't have to do the robotics, the whole surgery. But if you can find a surgeon and ask your surgeon if they do this, use the robotics to line up the joint, the implant, and the recovery rate, my friend told me, is half the time. And it was just almost miraculous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they want to use robotics to line up the joint. Yeah.
Good to know.
And ask them if that's
Julie.
the case. Yeah. So I hope that helps. What are you doing to deal with the pain now? How are you dealing with that?
Just heating and ice, and I'm taking a muscle relaxer, which to me really just makes me tired. I'm not sleeping very well, and my job now, I like clean. So I clean houses, so it's I'm just moving all the time, which is good, but not good.
Must be excruciating. So, do you have a lazy boy, Denise? Can you sleep in the lazy boy?
No, I don't actually. No, but elevate my legs.
Well, I know that it relieves a lot of the pressure off of the joints, off the hip, if you can sleep in a lazy boy. Or
driving is not fun anymore. Like driving the car because my right leg is bad. Very painful.
Yeah,
so
I bet. Oh my gosh. Well,
I wish you
all the best. Yeah, you bet. I wish you all the best. Okay.
All right.
Good luck.
You're
Take
the best.
care.
Thank you. I'll be talking to you again. Thank you so much, Julie.
Okay.
All right. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Just a little bit of a heads up. I'm going to be out of town next week, so we're not going to do a live show, but I have a pre-recorded show with a gal named Katie McQuaid, who is one of the highest ranking female executives to ever retire from the CIA. And we did an interview. We've already got it done. It's fabulous. You guys are going to love it. And I ask her a lot of questions about the CIA and how she does stuff, and tease her and say, okay, do you have to kill me first before you can tell me about this? And a couple times she said, yeah, I can't tell you. But, or she's very politically correct. She'll say, well, I can tell you this. And so it's really fun to hear about how that operates. But the other thing that's fun is I really question her on how she used intuition, how she used woo-woo in her job. And she ran global operations with thousands and thousands of people that were stationed around the globe. And so it's really a fun interview. You guys are going to enjoy it. And I think you'll learn a few things that'll be fun. So just a heads up, if you want to call in and ask a question, call in the following week, but listen to Katie McQuaid. We'll, of course, put a note on social media to remind you of it. We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we'll get more callers on. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Be right back. One more comment about the Katie McQuaid interview is the day after I interviewed her, she texted me the next morning. She said, well, I guess I came out of the closet on this one. And I said, yeah, you did, about how she used her intuition, and some of the decisions that she made, affected like millions of people, you can imagine. So I think you're really going to enjoy that interview. And that's going to air next Thursday, which is, I think, the 6th. Or let's see, today's the 2nd, so the 9th. Yeah, I can add. That's simple math. So the 9th, and I hope you enjoy it. And then I'll be back the following week. Okay, we normally do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number is 667-770-1476, and the access code is 483620#. This information is available on my website, AskJulieRyan.com, and in the show notes anywhere you download podcasts. Also in the show notes are an opportunity for you to leave a review at ratethispodcast.com/Julie. Again, ratethispodcast.com/Julie. We're also on YouTube and Alexa. So pretty much anywhere you download podcasts, you'll be able to find us. Call-in details can also be found on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest at Ask Julie Ryan. All my social media channels are all at Ask Julie Ryan. And we'll always post a reminder that we're doing a live show, which again is most of the time. And then next week we'll post a reminder that it's not a live show. So you'll get that information too. While you're on my website, be sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter, because that's a question somebody submitted along with my answer. I get lots of questions and they're all wonderful. And then one is chosen each week, and then I'll answer that. You can also schedule an appointment with me. Then we'll have a whole hour to talk about whatever you want. Because, like I said, I am a buffet of psychicness, so we can cover lots of topics in the same hour. And also, I'm scheduled out a couple of months. You know the trick. Get on my calendar. You're going to get a confirmation email. In that email, it's going to have a reschedule button. Save the email, periodically click on that button, and it will show you when people have rescheduled and earlier appointments open up. And oftentimes you can get in within a couple of days because people are scheduling out, in advance, and then life happens. So just save your confirmation email. Like, we can move you around once you're on my calendar, but you got to get on my calendar first. So do that. So everything you need to know can be found at AskJulieRyan.com. Okay, here's the question from this week. This is one of my faves. I loved this one when it came in, and I thought, okay, I need to choose this one at some point. So Chrissy from Newport Richey, Florida asked, "Hi, Julie. I have a quick question. When I was younger, in middle school, I used a Ouija board. For 3 Saturdays in a row, I felt an energy pass through me as I went to bed, and it was difficult to get out of it. It almost felt like I was being possessed. Ha ha. During these occurrences, I saw a witch being hung." This is in her mind's eye she's talking about. "She saw a witch being hung, heard someone whispering under my bed about her notebook, and the room was spinning with colors. I moved my body a lot to stop the visions and sensations. When I threw the Ouija board away, it all stopped." It's spelled Ouija. And so some people maybe pronounce it Ouija board, but I always heard it was Ouija board. So that's how I'm saying it. She went on to say, "I'm curious if others have had similar experiences. As a kid, I've seen ghosts and heard voices, but the feeling I had when it felt like someone came through me was scary. Thanks, Chrissy." Isn't that a great question? I thought that was just terrific. And so that's what I said. Hi, Chrissy. What a great question. Most of us have either played with or at least heard of Ouija boards and the associated warnings and ghost stories that go along with them. Your question piqued my interest about the history of this game. Where did it originate? Does it have some kind of special powers? And does it really enable or even enhance spirit communication? Here's what I learned. In an article titled "The Strange and Mysterious History of the Ouija Board," Smithsonian Magazine said, quote, "The Ouija board came straight out of the American 19th century obsession with spiritualism, the belief that the dead are able to communicate with the living." Well, fast forward, we know now that that's true. I do it all the time and get validation for that. And so do many other mediums, and just normal people do too that haven't gotten any training like I did. But the other thing is, it's been proven in university-based research to a 99.9% accuracy rate that after bodily death, that the spirit does continue and they can communicate with spirit. And actually, there's a multi-center study underway to validate that. So many universities and other scientists have proven that you can communicate with spirit, but back then, they didn't know that yet. So the article went on to say, quote, the spiritualism movement offered solace in an era when the average lifespan was less than 50. Women died in childbirth, children died of disease, and men died in war. Even Mary Todd Lincoln, wife of the venerable president, conducted seances in the White House after their 11-year-old son died of a fever in 1862. During the Civil War, spiritualism gained adherents in droves, people desperate to connect with loved ones who'd gone away to war and never come home, end quote. As a result, an alphabet board called Ouija, which apparently the story on the Ouija board is that the inventors asked the board what they should call it, and it spelled out Ouija, and then they asked what did it mean, and it spelled out good luck. So Ouija means good luck from spirit that was communicating through the board. The Ouija board, or an alphabet board, later called the Ouija board, was invented and patented on February 10th, 1891. Now, I'm an inventor. I have multiple patents and trademarks. You can't get a patent unless you can prove the efficacy of whatever it is you're trying to get patented. Not only that it's an original product, but you got to prove that it works and that it does what it says it does. So somebody that invented the Ouija board proved to a patent examiner who said, okay, this thing really works, and gave it a patent in 1891. I thought that was remarkable. So it was patented to help people communicate with the deceased. Back then, no one thought it was strange to talk with the dead. It was an accepted practice. At one point in the late 1960s, an average of 2 million Ouija boards, seen as a fun game, were sold annually, even outselling Monopoly. 2 million, that's a lot of Ouija boards. That's a lot of communication with spirit. That all changed in 1973 when The Exorcist, a horror movie, was released. Some of us remember The Exorcist movie. In the film, a young girl, while playing with a Ouija board, becomes possessed by an evil spirit and requires an exorcism by a Catholic priest. That was just, for those of you that weren't alive yet, that was a big deal when that picture came out because, people were all up in arms about it. It got tons of publicity. It was super successful and people still talk about it. And I can still remember the theme song. I think it's called Something Bells. And it's really a great theme song. It doesn't sound scary, but it's really a great theme song. Now, to what happened to you. Back to Chrissy. First, all spirits are pure love. I don't believe in evil spirits. Rather, I believe the evil spirit concept was propagated by religions, cultures, and governments to control the masses. Because after all, what controls people better than fear? Nothing. We've just been through this for the past 2 years with the pandemic. Fear is the way that masses are controlled, masses of people. For you, Chrissy, I believe the Ouija board acted as a conduit or tool, much like a pendulum, talisman, crystal, to raise your vibrational level, allowing you to access the spirit world more easily. Furthermore, since our thoughts and beliefs create our reality, your belief in the efficacy of the Ouija board put you on a high vibrational frequency, much like a radio channel, that permitted you to intuitively see, hear, and know spiritual information, and that validated your belief. So if you're communicating with spirit, you get information that comes in, you're able to validate it. What does it make you do? It makes you believe that you're really communicating with spirit, and in most cases you are. But sometimes people need a pendulum or a Ouija board or something to give them confidence until they're practiced enough that they can do it without those tools. I went on to say, whether or not we realize it, we all have the capacity to communicate with any spirit at any time. We're born with this ability and do it a lot. It's just that when we receive information from spirit, we normally discount it and chalk it up to our imagination. That's what I was talking with Mary about earlier, was you can talk to spirit at any time, any spirit, whether you knew them or not, doesn't matter. You think of them, tunes your satellite dish head to their frequency. You either ask them something out loud in your head, you make a statement, they're going to respond. It's going to come in instantly, sometimes even before you have the thought out all the way. And then I ended with, hope this explanation clarifies things for you. To learn how to purposely raise your vibrational level and communicate with and receive information and guidance from spirit, check out my angelic attendant training. Isn't that a great question? I love that one. So thanks, Chrissy. Stay with us, everybody. When we come back, we're going to get Ann on the phone and see what her question is. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show, and we'll be right back. And we're back, and I lost Ann over the break, so I don't know what happened to her. Maybe she got scared. Didn't want to come on. So, Larry, you're next. Hi, Larry. Larry, are you with me? 678 area code. Okay, I guess not. All right, let's go to, let's go to Jane next. Hi, Jane.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm just so grateful to be able to speak with you.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Can you put the phone closer? Can you put the phone closer to your mouth? I'm having trouble hearing you. Please.
Sure. Is that better?
Okay. Way better. Yes.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Where are you located?
Like I was saying, I'm very grateful. I am just outside of Chicago.
I can tell.
You can tell?
I can tell. You sound like a Chicagoland girl.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Anyway, we recently got a diagnosis yesterday and today about my new baby grandson that's supposed to be arriving in October, and they're 20 weeks pregnant, and they went for an ultrasound, and the baby was diagnosed with HLHS, which is half of a heart or missing a left ventricle. Anyway, they basically told him it's a terminal diagnosis. And I don't even know how to ask this question. And my thought is there any chance this baby could be born with a normal life, live a healthy life, or is it they might be faced with having to terminate the baby? They're going to see all the specialists at Lowry's tomorrow. I'm sorry.
No, honey, up. Listen, I can't even imagine. Yeah.
And this can't even imagine. Was a miracle.
Yeah. Well,
and they didn't even think they could ever get pregnant again after they've gone through all sorts of tough situations. With her anatomy, physical anatomy, and she's very healthy. But this baby, we don't know if it's going to make it.
Okay. All right. I'm going to tell you a little story. One of my dear friends, her daughter got pregnant. This was several years ago, 7-8 years ago, something like this. And they had all the tests done because it was an older mom. The daughter was an older mom. And the tests came back with Downs. The baby had Downs. And so they had subsequent tests performed, and everything showed that the baby had Downs. So my friend called me and said, can you scan my daughter and scan the baby? And I did. And the fetus looked like a Downs baby. And so the mom decided to go through with the pregnancy, and they got all kinds of support systems lined up. They talked to the Downs Parents Association or something. Apparently there was a group in their city, and they were all ready for this baby to be born. The baby came out and had a perfect APGAR score. No downs, no anything. And so my friend called me later that afternoon when this little boy was born, and she said, "What the heck?" And I said, "I don't know. I can't explain it. I saw the fetus look like a Downs baby to me. I was getting that it was a Downs baby, that he was a Downs baby." And I said, maybe that baby's spirit just needed to know that his parents were going to accept him regardless of any challenges that he was going to come in with. And that little boy now is probably 7, maybe he's probably 7 now, and he's just thriving and he's perfect. So I tell that story, Jane, because sometimes the tests are wrong, even when you have multiple tests. And your daughter's got to do what she and her husband feel is best for them, for the child. I'm happy to look at the fetus if you want. What's your daughter's name?
Her name is Emily.
Emily. And I'll ask Emily if I can scan her, if you want me to, and I can look at the fetus.
Sure.
I have worked on fetuses many times throughout the years with all kinds of issues. I've worked on pregnancies with all kinds of issues. The placentas, starting to separate from the wall, the uterine wall, holes in the heart, stuff like that. And the babies come out just fine. So let me get her on my radar. I'm going to connect to you, Jane, and from you to Emily. Emily, I'm talking to your mom. Is it okay if I scan you energetically and scan your baby? She says, yes, please do. So I don't know if you set that up ahead of time or not, but she's giving me permission. So I'm going in. So you're saying that half of the heart chamber is not working, correct? Or it's just not formed yet? Left ventricle. Okay. All right. So stem cell energy is being applied to this baby's heart, and it's starting to form the part that hasn't formed yet. Now, in people that are grown-ups, I use stem cell energy all the time. And of course, it's spirit working through me and with me. And it's everybody's spirit that does the healing. I'm just the facilitator. But we all heal ourselves. So I have had many, many situations over the years where a new organ is generated from stem cell energy and it shows up on subsequent scans and it freaks out the doctors. It's hilarious when that happens. New kidneys, new livers, new spleens, stuff like that. So that's what I'm watching happen with your baby, is I'm watching its little heart get generated in the way that it needs to survive. So I hope that helps, and I'm sending you big hugs because that's a tough one. Just sending you lots of love because...
Thank you.
Yeah.
And will that show up tomorrow when they do all the tests?
Yeah, so
will
good
that
luck.
show up tomorrow when they do all the tests?
Good luck with all of that.
Thank you,
we
Julie.
don't know. It depends on if that baby integrates the healing or not. So that's all I can do is tell you that the healings happen. So I hope it helps. Stay with us, everybody. We're back. Our next caller is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Can unmute. Hello. Okay. Well, let's see Oh, there you are. Now I can hear you.
Hi, this is Michelle. How are you?
Terrific. Where are you located?
Stamford, Connecticut. I'm your favorite Instagram person. I love connecting with you on Instagram.
Oh, thank you for connecting with me on Instagram. It's really fun to get to talk to people online. By the way, there are scammers out there. I keep forgetting to mention this on the show. There are scammers, and they contact you and they pretend to be me, and they say, "Oh, I'm being led to give you a reading, and here, just pay me this money and give me your phone number and your picture, and then I'll call you tomorrow. I'll call you this evening or something." And they never hear from them, and they get scammed out of money. So I will never contact you. I will never ask you for a reading. I will never ask you for money. The only way you can schedule an appointment with me is to go through AskJulieRyan.com. If you've been scammed, report that site. And what they're doing is they're taking my picture and they're misspelling my name. Like they'll spell Julie's with 2 L's or 2 I's, or I saw Ryan with 2 R's. And so if you've been scammed, call your credit card company or your bank. Tell them you've been scammed. Everybody I know that's been scammed has let me know that they get their money back. But do not give them your phone number or your picture because, what are they doing? Sometimes they're asking for your phone number, your picture, and your birth date. And so that's identity theft 101. They can copy you and pretend to be you and open credit in your name. So do not talk to those people. Just, block them and report them to Instagram. Sorry. Let me get off my soapbox. Thanks for bringing that up, Michelle, because I keep forgetting to mention
no
that.
Worries. No, I did get an email. I did get an email from someone who asked me, and I mentioned it to him. He said, no, it definitely wasn't you.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they say things like, hello, dear, and, like weird stuff that I talked to somebody today and a client, and she said, you sound just like you do on the radio. I said, yeah, well, I'm the same person. But I've had several people say that they could tell it wasn't me because it's not the way that I talk when they were contacted by somebody. So yeah, don't fall prey to that. And if you do, or if you have, call your credit card company or your bank and tell them you want a refund and they'll give it to you. Okay.
I knew instinctively it wasn't you. I just felt like it wasn't you. I knew immediately it wasn't you when they was an email, an Instagram text. It was, I think.
Right.
Anyway.
Right. And they keep doing it because people keep falling for it and giving them money. And so, they're encouraging them to continue to do it because people are falling for the scam. It's not just me. They're doing it with other psychics and mediums too, my colleagues. Yeah. So anyways, well, Stanford, Connecticut, my girl, you got a question for me?
I do. I wanted to ask about my love life.
Yeah.
And will I have a love life sometime in the future?
Absolutely. Yeah. What are you doing to create one?
Working.
You got to take action,
In my retirement years.
You what?
Pardon?
What are you saying?
I work too much. I keep thinking in my retirement years it will happen.
Nah. Just do it now. What are you doing? Put the word out to people that hey, I'd love to meet somebody. I'd love to have a partner or a husband or whatever you want. And then put that out. And then have you gone on any of the online sites?
Many years ago I did, not in recent years. I'm over 60 now.
Doesn't matter.
But
I know 2 women that were over 60 who met their husbands on one of those sites.
I believe it wholeheartedly, but I had one bad experience and I kind of shied away from it after many years.
That's all right. You just learn from it and move on. Yeah. So that's a way. The other thing, Michelle, is what are you doing to get yourself out there? Are you involved in any organizations or philanthropic kind of organizations?
Not currently. I honestly, I blame it on work, but I'm so zonked out after work that I feel like I just can't move another inch, and I can't do another thing. I work probably 60 hours a week some weeks, and it's just all encompassing. Every ounce of my body, I feel so drained afterwards that it's just too much.
Yeah. How about on the weekends?
Mostly recouping from the week, and I do a lot of local beach things in the summer and travel with friends in the summer, but other than doing anything philanthropic, no, not recently. Small things.
Okay.
I do some dog rescue, but nothing big.
Okay. Well, get involved in some things, even if it's online, and do that. Put that information out to people and make space for it. Because right now you're busy, you're exhausted, you don't have time for any of that. So you're going to need to make time. And you can do that. You can figure it out. You'll figure it out. Yeah. Work's a really good excuse, and then work's over, and then you're by yourself and you're thinking, why in the heck? The company was like, yeah, here's a clock. Thanks a lot. See you. Bye. And they replace you, and then, you're left holding the bag. So I talked to a woman today that was with a company for 35 years. She was let go in a layoff. She said they didn't even say thank you. She said, it was 35 years of my life. I gave it my all.
Yeah.
She said, boy, I'm not going to do that again.
It's all true.
Yeah. So I hope that helps. But yes, I think you can create that. I think you can create the space. I believe that. And I believe that there's somebody there waiting for you to do that. So take some action, girl.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Good luck. Let us know. Send me a picture and I'll post it when you meet your man. I'll post it on social media.
Will do.
Thanks, Michelle. Bye-bye. Let's go to Miss Amy next. Hi, Aim.
Hi, Julie. How you doing?
I'm terrific. How are you?
Great. Hey, I really love that Ouija board answer. That was incredible. You did a good job.
Thanks. Wasn't that a fun question?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Did you ever use one when you were growing up?
I did in grade school, and it spelled out my address. One of the people in the game said, why aren't you working right? And it spelled out my address, and my house was a white color instead of White House, and my street address, and I freaked out. And I didn't want to play the game ever again. I didn't want to play when I was there, but my friends kind of put me on the spot.
Yeah. Yeah. We played it too at slumber parties primarily, and we could never get it to do anything. So, I tell you, I learned how to do this woo-woo stuff. I mean, I wasn't able to do it when I was in grade school. At high school, we were at slumber parties using the Ouija board, but it was fun, Wow. And then we tried to levitate each other. We'd have somebody lay on the floor, and we'd put our hands under them and try to get them to levitate. That didn't work either. So, we were doing something wrong, I guess.
Now.
Oh, gosh.
How funny. Look at who you are now. That's so ironic.
Is that a riot? Yeah. What the research shows on the Ouija boards, I read this, and, the blog was long enough. I didn't want to add any more, but it talked about how it was subconscious thoughts that were moving the board around, the person's subconscious thoughts. And that's what I talk about, that thoughts come in on a channel, and the energy was connecting into the channel of those thoughts. So that made sense to me when I saw that research. Well, back to you, Miss Amy. You got a question for me?
Yeah, I'm in the midst where I moved. I moved out to Morton's house in San Diego.
Okay.
And it's out in City Heights, and it's darling, but I just feel like I want to live in an eco-friendly community of souls. And I just feel I want to coach people on health and nutrition and be in an eco-friendly community, or I don't know, but can you pick something up? Because I know this isn't going to be forever, and it's, it's good, but I feel unsettled about where I'm living and what to do.
Please tell everybody where you're located.
From San Diego and City Heights right now, part of San Diego.
Okay. So last time you called in, I remember that I got that there was a place for you on Coronado Island, which is pretty exclusive and expensive. Did you look into that?
I haven't yet. A lot of it is because I'm like, well, what's Coronado going to cost? But I need to wipe that out of my mind because I'm going to put that energy out there.
I'm getting it again. That you're gonna live on Coronado. Yeah. So
okay. Do you get a time frame on that, or?
I get in the next 6 months. As soon as you asked that, Amy, I got in the next 6 months.
Okay, I'm gonna put it on my bucket list and get more serious about it. It's so weird moving when you were so happy where you were and you had to, they're bulldozing the building down. So it's such a weird feeling to be out of the loop of what your pattern is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Julie.
Coronado is so beautiful, as is most of San Diego, but I'm getting Coronado really strongly again for you, Aim. So I hope that helps. Thanks for calling. Good luck. All righty, everybody. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, let's see who's next. Jackie's next. We'll see what Jackie has to say. Stay with us. You're listening to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. Welcome back, everybody. We've got Jackie on the phone. Hi, Jackie.
Well, hey, Julie. How are you?
I'm terrific. How are you doing?
Good. It's been a while.
Please tell everybody where you're located.
Melbourne Beach, Florida.
Terrific. How are things down there? You guys have some rocky weather coming in, don't you? Or was that just on the West Coast?
I haven't.
On the Gulf Coast?
No, I guess it's coming up. We haven't seen anything yet, but yeah, it's supposed to be coming. So
yeah. Oh well.
But it's
well,
that time of year.
It is. Well, a little early for hurricane season, but just I saw that.
A little early.
I got an alert up here about it in Sweet Home, Alabama.
Yes, I know. Everybody was calling, asking, so I don't know what's been
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, it's good to be
the
loved.
First thing you could do. Yes, of course. Always. Yes. And good to hear your voice. Hey, you've scanned my mom before. She has the dementia, and you've classified where she's at a couple times for me in a private. So can you take a quick look at her for me? And
Sure. How's she doing, Jackie?
Oh, she's very late, very late stages. She's not, she's cheerier. So we're glad about that. No anger outbursts anymore. So yeah, so that's the positive side.
Yeah. Remind me of her name, please.
June.
All right, so I'm going to connect to you from you to your mom, June. In June. We're connecting to June in the month of June.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. All right, here comes my laser beam heading south from Sweet Home, Alabama. All right, got you going to your mom. Your mom's in phase 10 of 12.
She's up in Pennsylvania, New York state border, yeah.
Yeah, she's in phase 10, Jackie. And what that is, for those of you that don't know what we're talking about, when we're dying, we're surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and the spirits of deceased pets. And there's a configuration that the angels and spirits take as we approach death. And phase 10, obviously, is near the end, Jackie. So there are 3 questions I always ask everyone who's in the 12 phases of transition. The first one is, are you ready to go? So Miss June, are you ready to go? She's saying yes. Are you in pain? She says, not really. What do you need? She's saying pretzels. Does she like pretzels?
Pretzels. She loves pretzels. Okay.
She wants pretzels. So
Excellent.
There you go.
Excellent.
Yeah. It's just a simple thing at the end of life. And some people believe that you need to not give them like chocolate or pretzels or junk food. I say, give them whatever they want. What the heck? What are they waiting for?
Yeah. That facility, they give them whatever they want. Yeah.
Are you able to see her when you go up there, Jackie?
Well, I'm out of state. My other siblings are there. My brothers have trouble seeing her. My sister sees her. I am heading up north by the end of the month, so I'll see her. Yeah. And then COVID was, excuse my language, but was a real bitch, So it was hard.
Yeah. I'm so sorry. All right. So will you wait
until
Jackie?
It's a terrible disease.
Will you wait till Jackie gets there to see you? She's saying, I'll do my best. She kind of has a smart alecky look on her face, like, I'll do my best. Kind of a
that
thing.
Would be her, but she does not have to wait. Never wait. We're all ready for her to be very at peace.
Yeah. Does she know any of you when you go to see her?
It's, how I feel about it is sometimes I know in her heart when she's hugging me, whether I know when she knows it's a child. And then there's times that, it's just we're one of the staff. But there's still times that, when she's hugging you, that she knows it's a child.
How sweet is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, have you've read Angelic Attendants, right? My book.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's how I got connected to you.
So if you go on my website,
yeah, and I used
Jackie,
it for when my father passed. I'm sorry,
okay,
Julie.
good. When anybody that's listening, if you have a loved one who's at the end of their life, go on my website, askjulieryan.com, and Jackie, you can do this too. Go to the 12 phases of transition page. There are illustrations of the different phases, and you can download, Jackie, the chart of all of those illustrations and save it on your phone. And then all you have to do is just ask, what phase is my mom in? What phase of transition is my mom in? And you'll get an answer. It'll come in immediately, and you'll get a number. And then you can refer to the chart, and that'll give you a lot of information. So feel free to share that with your family members as well, because families tell me that is one of the most useful things to help them get through these last days, weeks, months with their loved ones who are who are passing, who are dying. And it just gives them so much comfort and also gives them information. If they need to go up there, if you see that your loved one is moving through the phases fairly quickly, like 6, 7, 8 or something, okay, this is happening. As you know, because we've talked before, you can go back and forth. Somebody can go back and forth. And I don't remember what phases your mom.
Right.
Has she? Okay. Yeah. So, phase 10, she's getting ready. Did you have a question you wanted to ask her?
It really was, is she ready? I mean, what really is holding her, if she knows what's holding her back, or if you could see what was holding her back, because when she was able to tell us, she was ready to go. And then, the dementia just seems to have halted.
I don't think anything's holding her back, Jackie. She just wants pretzels. That's all she's asking for. So get her some pretzels, and I think she's ready to go. So thanks for calling. Good luck with all of that with your mama.
Thank you.
All righty, everybody. That's it for this week. I will be back week after next. Listen to the Katie McQuaid interview, the CIA gal, next week. I think you're going to love it. It's really, really good. And sending you lots of love from Sweet Home, Alabama. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Be sure to follow Julie on Instagram and YouTube at Ask Julie Ryan, and like her on Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan. To schedule an appointment or submit a question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.
This show is for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical, psychological, financial, or legal advice. Please contact a licensed professional. The Ask Julie Ryan Show, Julie Ryan and all parties involved in producing, recording, and distributing it assume no responsibility for listeners' actions based on any information heard on this or any Ask Julie Ryan shows or podcasts.